The most dangerous part about quitting isn't day one, it's right now. I'm 60 days smoke-free after 25 years, and something feels off. The cravings aren't intense anymore. Like, I'm not fighting cigarettes on the daily, but I'm not celebrating either. My goal with this video is to give you a clear heads up on what to expect, so when you get there, you're not blindsided. It's obvious, I'm not a guru. I'm just a midlife smoker who decided to quit and decided this was my last time. And after 25 years, I'm documenting the whole process honestly to show you what quitting smoking after 40 actually looks like. Month 1 is about survival. Month 2 is about identity. This is the quiet phase, the guard down phase. And it's where a lot of people slip without even realizing it. You're not battling cigarettes by the hour. You're learning how to live without the habit. And you get hit with a question that you probably didn't expect. If I don't smoke anymore, who am I? What I've learned is this. You can't think your way to this answer. It only comes from what you choose to put into the spaces that smoking used to fill. And that's the part not enough people openly discuss. This phase right now quietly opens a door to a real reset. Not just quitting smoking, but rebuilding your entire life. It's a midlife reset. And one thing for sure is, cravings pass, but the journey will continue. This channel is for people over 40 who want to quit smoking or who are committed to staying quit by rebuilding their health, their mindset, and environment for their second wind. If this is you, we can do this together. Just hit subscribe and join our journey. Before we unpack month 2, if you're new here, I recommend watching the full Quit Smoking playlist after 40. It's linked in the description, and that'll help you bring you up to speed. And if you've watched the last episode, episode 5, you know that I felt strong. I felt confident, like I had turned a corner. And I had. It was somewhere around week 6 or week 7. A new danger showed up. Complacency. The cravings weren't screaming anymore. They weren't physical. They were quieter, different. They started whispering. And that inner voice, it's a master negotiator. It sounds reasonable. It sounds calm, logical. It says things like this. You're doing really well. You've earned a reward. You got this under control. Look at you. Wow. Probably just buy a pack now. You know, just have like 1 smoke a day. Just keep it out in the shop. Treat yourself once in a while. Be like the good old days. That voice is internal, and it's a trickster. That exact whisper caused so many of my past relapses. But not this time. Month 2 isn't about fighting pain anymore. It's about fighting deep-seated habits and triggers, all the while staying consistent with the new habits that you're building. Let's do an honest physical check-in. That clearing out cough, mostly gone. I'm not gonna say forever and ever, but it's rare now. I can take deeper, fuller breaths now without that tight, restricted feeling, you know? I first noticed it during family hikes late in month 1.
We made her. That was one big hill right there. Holy.
And even more during full days at the lake paddleboarding. By the way, we carried those activities right on into month 2, spending entire days moving, breathing fresh air, and being active. That's when it really hit me how different things were. I honestly feel like a version of myself that's like 10 years younger. More energy, more stamina, and more presence. I'd like to share something with you that happened during month 2 that was rather unexpected. We brought a new cat into the house. And you know, it's kind of funny because it was almost immediately 2 weeks of symptoms. Like running nose, congestion, a heavy phlegm, and that felt exactly like allergies. I genuinely wondered if quitting smoking had made me allergic to animals. After talking with a nurse in our family, it became clear what was happening. My lungs were clearing out and repairing themselves. Thankfully, the timing just overlapped. The good news is that passed, and the cat is right at home now. The weight. The scale is up 3 or 4 pounds. And for me, that's rather unusual. I've remained pretty consistent over the years in that department, but I am noticing a change there. You see, in month 1, survival, that was a priority. Cravings came first. I replaced smoking with mostly healthy snacks and leaned heavy into my quit smoking toolbox. By the way, everything I use is listed in the quit smoking toolbox in the description. Phase 1, you'll find the tools to survive cravings. Phase 2, you'll find the tools for staying quit and rebuilding your second wind. Month 2 is where reality sets in. You can't live on snacks forever, just like we tell our kids. But here's the reframe that matters. I'd rather carry an extra few pounds of quit weight than keep injecting my lungs with tar. Like, I'm done doing that. One battle at a time. Weight control, that'll come a little later on my channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it now. Let's talk about the grind. This month, the novelty of quitting is long gone. Being a non-smoker feels awkward, still. But breaking old habits and forming new ones is slowly becoming the normal. My biggest triggers this month weren't stress. Again, like before, they were habitual situations. One that did surprise me was at a family get-together. Also, evenings sitting still, driving, social events. Moments where I used to slip away for a quick break. At this stage, it's not even really a craving anymore. It's a ritual gap. Here's the tool that carried me through month 2. I don't sit there and white knuckle it anymore. Like, I just physically change something. Like, I stand up, I move rooms, I go outside, or I mentally revisit my why. Of course, that depends on how serious or long-lasting that feeling is. I'm teaching my brain that boredom or the old way of doing things no longer equates to a cigarette. That rewiring takes time. That right there best describes the grind. A quick update on the patch. I'm following a 10-week patch plan. Right now I'm 8 weeks in, finishing step 2 and moving into step 3. Worthwhile mentioning is stepping down wasn't noticeable in terms of like cravings getting stronger. That kind of surprised me actually, because I thought maybe there was going to be something there. Nope, all good. The biggest side effect, as I mentioned earlier in this series, was vivid dreams. Not nightmares, just extremely vivid dreams. Those actually became less frequent as I lowered the nicotine dose. I'll do a dedicated video later that goes deeper into my patch experience, because there is more to talk about it than just, hey, I put a patch on. For now, the fear around stepping down was mental. Physically, it was barely noticeable. Like, the key message here is simple. Trust the process. The patch worked better for me than anything else that I've tried in the past. Cold turkey or another method might work better for you, and honestly, like, that's great. What matters is committing and sticking with it. Your future self will thank you for the effort and the grit that you've put in and are putting in right now. The 60-day reward. Month 1, that reward was a dentist visit, right? That was that full checkup and cleaning. That felt really good to get that one under my belt. Month 2 was different. Those family hikes, the lake days, the paddleboarding, daily walks, those turned out to be my rewards. Like, I'm not motivated by stuff. Sure, don't get me wrong. Like, it's nice and all to have some things. But objects, they don't really move that needle for me. What motivates me is knowing that I'm still on track. The small wins. And watching the money that I used to smoke stay in my account and start to stack. I'll keep reinvesting a portion into my long-term health. Cigarettes weren't a loss. In fact, they were just a placeholder, a space holder for a lot of gain. If you're at that 45 to 60 day mark, don't relax your guard. Now, the work is about shutting down those short-lived inner suggestions to relapse, using physical tools, mental discipline, and the new habits that you've formed. You're not a smoker who quit anymore. You're a non-smoker protecting your freedom, your new habits, and your second wind. And yes, it does get easier over time. If you're in this phase right now, drop a comment and tell me, what ritual gaps are you still battling? And next, in episode 7, we'll talk about that milestone, the 90-day mark. Who you become when smoking is no longer part of your identity, and how energy really starts to shift. Remember this, cravings pass, the journey continues, and you're not doing this alone.